Hola and welcome to Vida Consciente, the bilingual podcast where we explore mindful living and conscious lifestyles so we can heal and transform from the inside out. I am your host, Alejandra, and I want to thank you again for being part of this community. Now we're going to be recording in English and I hope you enjoy it. And like I say in my previous episodes, everything that I share with each one of you is my own personal experience. The challenge, the lessons that I have been learning through the years that has been helping me to become more self-aware and connected in a better way with my mind and my body, understanding who I am so I can live the life that I always wanted to live, understanding my identity and continue moving forward for my dreams and maintaining always that inner peace that is inside of each one of us. In today's episode, I want to talk about the problem of the expectations. What happens when we want to make things so perfect? And believe it or not, I was having a little bit trouble recording this episode because this is the second one that I'm doing in English. So I was maybe expecting to make it better so it can sound good, but I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. If I make a mistake, making a mistake is completely fine. It's okay. So I know that, like me, many of us, we have goals, we have desires, and things that we want to accomplish. But we put so many expectations. We have that self-demanding in ourselves, and we want things to happen in a certain way. And until we don't feel ready, we just keep postponing and procrastinating things until we feel like it is the right time. And what I have been learning is never is the right time. The time is when you feel it, when you have that sensation, that feeling inside you that you have to do it, is when you need to start taking at least small step. And I'm going to be sharing a little bit of experience that it happened to me that helped me to learn the time is now, and I don't need to wait more until I make it perfect so it can become real. I remember when I wanted to start my own business, Mind Body Power. For those who doesn't know me, I'm a physical therapist and wellness coach. And 3 years ago, I decided I want to have my own business. I want to work one-on-one with my patients and do a listed business where I like to always talk about the emotional health, the physical, and the spiritual, because all these are connected. So I decided to open my own business, like I say, Mind Body Power, and that was the first step. But then I remember I didn't know what else to start doing, so I started looking at other people's what they were doing, similar of my kind of job, and I started a little bit not comparing myself, but trying to do what other people were doing, and that was making me frustrated at some point. At the beginning, I felt okay, I can do it, but it was not my real identity. It was not myself. I was not putting my real touch, ese toque personal. And I remember I started just becoming so anxious and feeling an anxiety that I started asking myself and self-question if I start my business, this is what I want. What is the problem? Why I'm not feeling that fulfillment? Why I'm not feeling that joy that I just start something that I really wanted to do? The problem is I was putting so much expectations. I put the expectation by 1 year this need to happen, and I have to have many number of patients, and I need to maybe be making this number, the amount of money, and I didn't see that. And then I start seeing others but they start maybe at the same time than me. Now they're doing better. So I was just putting a distraction out of my focus, out of what I really wanted to do. So I remember I decided to take a break. I needed to take a break because my level of creativity was not working, was not coming out. I was just getting frustrated to the point that I felt the burnout. I felt I want to just give up. This is too much for me. So I started feeling unworth it. I was not really trusting on my own worth and who I am and what I can bring and put into the table. And until I decided to take this break and just connect with myself, going inside me. Don't look the answers outside on anyone else. Don't look at what other people are doing. Just find my own identity? What is my personal touch? What are the strengths that I will bring to the people? What are my own patients, my own people that I know, what they see on me? That's what I need to start working on. So that break that I took, it really helped me to refocus my attention, to calm down that anxiety that I have and say, no more the outside. Everything, all the wisdom, all the answers are inside me. And I'm just going to do it my way. And I'm just going to just bring to the table what is me, what is Alejandra, what I has been offering for years. And that is what has been helping me. And I took those small steps. And I remember how my perception changed. It was like drastically that I was not really working on a calendar, like organizing every single day and making things so perfect. I was just trying to go more with the flow. I was still putting some self-demand on myself, because it's okay to put that self-demand in yourself, because if we don't do that, we just keep procrastinating and postponing things and wait. But we need to have like a control, some moderation. Do what we can do, no more and no less. And the same happened when I remember I wanted to do something that I can share with others. All the different techniques and lessons that I have been learning through my life, in my own personal life, to become who I am right now. This better, self-aware Alejandra that it was years before. Because I have been taking so many classes and has been doing so many techniques on my own that I knew I always wanted to share with others. Because why to keep it inside you? Why don't share with others what has been making you a better person? So for years, I remember I have that passion, that fire inside me that was yelling and say, what can I do? Because I already talked to the people that I know. But what about the people that you don't know, that you want them to also maybe listen to what life has bringing to you, that has been helping you? Why not share that with others? So maybe what you share is going to help them. So I was like, I don't know what to do, but at the same time, I was distracting my mind by doing other things. So sometimes we just keep our minds so occupied and we don't keep listening inside us. We forget that there is a voice inside us that it just intensify. And I was like, that voice was keeping more intense, and it was intensified every time. And I started writing. I love to journal. And I say, this is something that is a passion of mine. When I think it, when I just visualize this, it burns inside me. And when you think about something, when you visualize something, and you have that feeling of burn inside you, believe me, that is your purpose. That is part of who you are. And that is something that you don't need to ignore it, because you need to share that with others. Don't ignore the voice is inside you, because no matter how many things you do to distract your mind, no matter how busy you stay at work or with your personal life, that voice is going to continue intensify. And we need to listen to that. So that's when everything was the podcast. A lot of people were doing podcasts, and I was like, well, maybe I can do a podcast. I don't have an idea of how to record. I don't have an idea what to use. But I took the first step. I remember one night I was in my computer and say, if I don't do it now, I don't want to do it tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm going to say the same. So let me do it tonight. And I just bought, the first thing on Amazon was the microphone. It came into my house. I just started looking on YouTube, different tutorials, and say how to use a microphone and how to start recording podcasts. And that's how I start taking the small step. It helped me to get out of my comfort zone, because that's what that voice inside us, it is, that passion is inviting us to get out of that comfort zone. Because once we get out of that comfort zone is when you're going to really know who you are, your strengths, your weakness, your talents, your passion, your spiritual gift. So that's how I took my first step. Let me get the microphone. Let me start learning by other tutorials how to do it. And that's how Vida Consciente started. And this started in 2018, 2019, almost 2 years. And now that I can hear my episodes, the first one and the episode from now, I feel so proud of myself. I feel like I have accomplished something that I wanted to accomplish for years. And I don't feel embarrassed for how I was talking before, which if you listen to the first episode in Spanish and you don't know Spanish, I don't gonna recommend you to do it because I talk really fast and I'm learning how to start talking a little bit slow. But now I can see the progress and I feel so proud, so confident. That brings me more confidence, self-awareness, love, trust on myself. I know my worth it. So that is my invitation for all of you. So don't wait until something need to happen, until don't wait a specific time for you to do something. If you have a hobby that you want to do, if you have a passion that you want to put out in practice, if you want to take that trip by yourself and you're still scared, make the first move now. If you want to go and travel by yourself that you have never done, take the first step. Go and book your trip. What happens next, you don't know, but you need to take the first step. If you want to start and change a job and go into something different, start from little. Make the first step. Start searching for a job. Maybe send your resume. That is something else that I did when I was working. I remember in a skilled nursing facility. That was my first job. I felt so burnt out. I felt like I need a challenge in my life. I need to learn something different. And I went to try another setting. I didn't know nothing. I was scared. I was really nervous to try something that I had never tried. But I took the first step. Let me just send my resume. And if they approve, I'm just going to go to the interview. And I don't know, I'm going to learn. If we don't try, we're never going to learn. And we're going to get stuck always in the same place. And there's nothing worse in this life than feeling that sensation of emptiness, that sensation of death, even when you're still alive. So I really invite you to think, what is something that you really want to start doing in your life? What are the change that you want to start doing? What is that voice inside you that for years has been yelling and continue intensify inside you, that you're still maybe not listening, or you listen but you're still not aware, you're not paying full attention to what is that? And take that step. If you want to start writing a book, start typing. Start making something that tomorrow is going to continue inspiring you to continue to that dream. So self-demanding is good until a certain point, because we need that push to ourselves to get out of that comfort zone. Take that first step. The problem is when we start putting too many expectations. It need to be in a certain way. It need to be accomplished in a certain time. It need to be done in this direction. And if we don't see that things happening in the way that we want it, we get frustrated. We start getting the sensation of burnt out. We start feeling unworthy. We don't trust in ourselves. So many things negative start happening in our life. And so we stop, we give up, and we procrastinate. That's the problem when we have the expectation. And the same problems happen when we have expectations in a relationship. And I'm one that has been having expectations in relationship. How many of us, we don't expect that certain things happen in a relationship, that the person that we choose to be have certain ways to be or behave with us or listen or know what we want. I have been there, and we cannot pretend or expect that things need to be the way that we always want it to be. If we don't know what we want, we cannot pretend that somebody else knows what we want. We are the ones who need to start taking the lead, but always with that moderation. And I want to share also with you, what are those negative, the problems that we can see, or the signs when we start the self-demand in excess, when we start pushing ourselves and making so much expectations and things that we want to do, personal, professional, or even in relationship. The perfectionist, like I say, we become so perfectionist. We want things to happen in a certain way, and our expectations are higher. So the problem is sometimes we don't never start even doing it because our expectations are too high, and we just get that frustration and anxiety because it's not happening the way that we want. Also, we don't allow ourselves to make mistakes. When we are too perfectionist, when we want things to be expected in a certain way, if one mistake happen, it's like the end of the world. We start going down, we start unbelieving ourselves. We just keep blaming ourselves for the mistake. Mistakes are necessary in life. I have been learning that even now with the self-awareness work that has done in me, a mistake for me is a lesson that's gonna bring me something rich. It's gonna bring me something positive, because that mistake is a learning. So don't see mistake always as a something negative. Mistakes are important to me because it was gonna help us to be a better person, to become something greater, and to be different. Also, stop criticizing ourselves. When we become so perfectionist, we criticize ourselves. And if we criticize ourselves, imagine what other people are also going to be criticizing. So start believing in who you are, allowing yourself for who you are, and do what you can at the moment. Don't wait until tomorrow. Do it at the moment. Other things that happen is we start trying to please people. And I was like this before. I was a pleaser. And I know a lot of us can be a pleaser. And this happens when we want to do what other people want us to do instead of what we really want to do. So this is something that happened with expectations, with the perfectionist, that a job, I'm going to do it perfect because I want my boss to see my kind of job is perfect so I can get maybe a better raise or I can have, some recognition. But maybe we don't want to do that, but we're doing it for somebody else. Only a relationship, I want to make my partner feel that I love him. I want my partner to feel like I'm the best person he shows. So we stop doing things for ourselves. We forget ourselves to start pleasing others. And life is not about that. It's about being complete. Be okay with who you are, the way that you are. That is the problem of expectation. Stop pleasing others and please yourself. Start comparing. Comparison happens a lot. I was through that. And there is something that is called the syndrome of the imposter. Is when we start comparing with others, what others do, their job, their accomplish, how they do it. So we become somebody else. We're losing our identity and we're just trying to do what other people are doing instead of what we really want to do. So it's time to go again inside you. Take that focus again to who you are, what you want to do, and put a personal touch. Ese toque especial that only you can bring to the table. And only you are going to really connect with the people because they're going to feel the energy. They're going to feel like what you're doing, what you're sharing, what you're talking is real and it's not what somebody else is doing. And something else is stop assuming. We need to stop assume that things need to happen in a certain way. Let things to happen. Make the step. So I want to invite you right now. Listen to that voice inside you. Stop ignoring. What is something that you want to do today that can take you to a better future? What is something that you have been dreaming to do, to go, to say, that's still postponing because you're finding and you're still trying to find the perfect time, the perfect place, or the perfect moment? And what are the steps that you can start taking today, not tomorrow, today, to do what you want to really to do? That's my invitation, and that is what this podcast wanted to share with you today. Because I has been through this. I has been before postponing many things, not allowing myself to enjoy certain things like a job or a relationship because I was expecting more than what I shouldn't be expecting. I was comparing myself. I was maybe waiting something to happen in a specific time. But now it's about do it. If you make a mistake, you're going to learn. If it's somebody is not going to like it, you are the one who need to like it, not somebody else. And now, look, I knew that I have to do this at some point in English because people were asking me to do it. I was afraid, believe me. I was afraid because I was like, I don't know if people are really going to understand. Sometimes my accent, sometimes for me it's easier to speak in my language than in Spanish. But if you're still making it perfect, if you're still expecting that it's going to be perfect and it's going to come a specific time that I'm going to feel ready, the time is going to continue passing, and the opportunities are going to pass, and the train is going to just go to the next station. So let me just do it now. And that's my invitation for you. So I hope you can take something from this episode, that it can inspire you to maybe take action today, tonight, and tomorrow. You're going to continue that and feel proud of yourself and get out of the comfort zone. And maybe share with me what is those goals. Maybe share with me what is that passion of you that you wanted to start. What is that something that you have been dreaming about it? Also, remember that you can find me on my social media, Mind Body Power 3. That's on my Instagram. And mindbodypower3@gmail.com. If you want to connect with me, you can do it either by my social media and Instagram, by email. Also, you can find me on YouTube at mindbodypower3. I always like to read comments, connect with people, get to know other people, because that's my goal, just to make a self-aware community where we can become more mindful and start really enjoying the life that we want to enjoy, be ourselves, and stop living in that autopilot, like we just go so fast every single day. So thank you so much again for listening, and you will be listening more episodes in English. From here, I send you un beso and the best energy. Ciao, ciao.